stop what you're doing. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. In previous versions of 7 Days to Die, a lot of people would try to get ahead fast and kind of speed run through to like end game loot. And there's lots of ways to do that, but now that has all changed. The Fun Pimps have locked us out of the wasteland, the burnt biome, the desert, and the snow biome. If you step into these biomes and you don't have the right stuff, it hurts you, it kills you. So what the Fun Pimps have done here is they have removed the sandbox element from 7 Days to Die. If you want to speed run your way through to the wasteland, it doesn't make any difference because your loot stage is going to stay the same in all of the biomes.
Your loot stage is going to stay the same in all of the biomes.
Check this out. Here's how this works. I am level 1, I'm game stage 1, I'm in the forest, and my loot stage is 1. There used to be a multiplier for this. Still day 1 in the snow. Game stage 26, loot stage is 1. In the wasteland, loot stage is 1. In the desert, loot stage is 1. In the burnt biome, the loot stage is 1. So I can no longer come to the wasteland on day 1 and get the better loot. So what I'll do is I'll max out. My character is game stage 360, level 300. This is the maximum. I'm on day 1. My loot stage is 40 in the forest, 160 in the snow, 300 in the wastelands, 125 in the desert, and 90 in the burnt forest. Loot stage max. You have maxed out the loot stage of this biome. It is recommended to move to the next biome. Once the next biome's challenges are completed, the maximum loot stage of this biome will be completed. It means that my loot stage is going to be 40 forever in this biome until I get the biome badge. To get the biome badge, I have to complete these challenges. These challenges involve going into the next biome, which is the burnt biome, and spending time there and killing zombies there, looting containers there, etc. Just for the record, looting birds' nests actually counts as containers, so that's good if you happen to cross a place that doesn't have any loot. One of the requirements is to craft a burnt smoothie, which gives you food, water, health, and lasts for 5 minutes across the board. The burnt smoothie will cost you coal, plant fibers, mushrooms, and water. But you will also see that one of the requirements is to harvest mushrooms while in the burnt forest. You can last for 3 minutes. The timer will start counting down, and after 3 minutes, you will start to take damage and you die. Burnt forest is 3 minutes, desert is 2 minutes, snow is 1 minute, and the wasteland you can only last 30 seconds in before you start to take damage. Also, one of the requirements is to spend time in each respective biome, and that time increases by the difficulty of the biome. 20 minutes in the burnt biome, 25 in the desert, 30 in the snow, 35 in the wasteland. But you can only last 30 seconds in the wasteland before you start taking damage. So you'll absolutely want to come to the burnt biome, run around, kill some zombies, look for birds' nests, look for loot containers, look for mushrooms, and get all the things you're gonna need to get the smoothie made. One of the requirements is to mine 500 nitrate powder while in the burnt forest. My suggestion is to bring the shit that you're going to need to make the burnt smoothie, and then drink that burnt smoothie right before you start harvesting the nitrate powder. Now remember, you have to be in the burnt biome. One thing of note is that the timer in all of the biomes ticks down 1 second at a time, obviously, but when you leave that biome, it goes up by 3 seconds. So your timer refills 3 times faster than it depletes. It took me 5 times to say that correctly. Don't judge me. Words are hard. So remember though, in these examples, my loot stage is maxed. So my loot stage is maximum here in the forest at 40. And then when I come over to the burnt biome, it should be 90. It is 90. Once you get the burnt biome badge, your loot stage max will now increase in the forest from 40 to 70. So now my max is 70. When I give myself the second biome badge, the loot stage in the forest will raise again from 70 to 90. And every biome before it will also get raised. So the burnt forest now has a loot stage of 100, whereas before it was 90. So we'll fill this thing out. So when I unlocked the third badge, it went from 70 to 90 in the forest, and it went from 90 to 100 in the burnt biome. The desert biome remained the same, the snow remained the same, and the wasteland remains the same. Here's the values of your loot stage. The maximum loot stage you can have in the forest with no badges at all is 40. Maximum in the burnt biome is 90, 125, 160, 300 for the wasteland, 300 plus infinite for the wasteland. This is a lot of weird nerdy stuff, and Tim Renke's probably better at this than I am, and as a matter of fact, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know about this. I just noticed like a little random thing where my chart is actually wrong. See, I don't know if it's wrong or if they made a slight little change in between streamer weekend version and experimental version. So we're going to check on that. But in the meantime, it doesn't matter if I like the updates or I love the updates and I love the changes, like the changes, because I don't. The streamer weekend was fucking amazing. Dude, it was amazing for me. You know, my next statement might actually get me removed from the content creator program, but I would rather be truthful and keep my integrity and be truthful with you guys, because that's why you click on the fucking subscribe button in the first place. Unless you just like my beard, which is a thing as well. The developers of 7 Days to Die are way out of touch, in my opinion. The Darkness Falls mod guys, as well as the Afterlife guys, Undead Legacy, Rebirth, those guys have a better grasp on what the 7 Days to Die community wants than the developers do. And it's been going in this direction for a very long time. It's a classic tale of it looks good on paper, and when you try to implement it into the world, it just doesn't jive. I'm going to finish my 2.0 playthrough, and now I'm going to immediately roll back into Alpha 16, which, from what I understand and what I'm told, is the best version of 7 Days to Die that there ever was. So I'm really curious, because these are things that I am willing to risk being removed from the content creator program. I made it here. I would love to stay here, but these are videos that I'm going to turn in. I'm going to post these things in places where they're easily accessible by you and also anybody who actually gives a damn in the Fun Pimps crew. So I want to know from you, how many hours do you have in 7 Days to Die? What alpha did you start playing 7 Days to Die? What was the most disappointing thing that was removed from the game? What was the most disappointing thing that was added to the game? What would you like to see added to the game? The smoothies, they say they last 5 minutes, but when I drank them, there was different values. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10-4. They did change that. The smoothie time is 5 minutes across the board. It was not like that before. Before, it was 7 minutes for the burnt, 6 for the desert, 5 for the snow, 5 for the wasteland, and apparently they changed that without telling anybody. So here's all the values that you may or may not need to know. Your time allowed in each biome, how long each smoothie lasts, how long you need to stay in the biome in order to get your badge, and also what the maximum loot stages are for all of the biomes and how much they increase per badge received. Cheers. Have a good day. I'll catch you soon. I got some more stuff to do. Yeah, this is just good information, good intel. Cheers, guys. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.